Assalamu alaikum, this is engineer Arslan, and today I'm going to test 132 kV switchgear VT tests. So आज मैं 132 kV switchgear का GIS switchgear है, इसका मैं VT test करूँगा. So this is our VT. The number of VT is VT1B. This is the tag number, and you can see the nameplate. This is the model number, and this is the maximum rated insulated level, and downside it is class, and this is its primary voltage, and this is its secondary voltage. This is the burden, this is the serial number, and other details are given here. So downside of this VT box, downside, this is the VT isolator. It isolates the VT from the bus bar. You can see right now the position of the isolator is on closed. If we move into open, it will disconnect the VT from the bus bar. This is a schematic diagram of this VT. You can see we have two secondaries for each phase VT. This is phase R, this is phase Y, this is phase B. And for R, this is the primary one, and in secondary we have two secondaries. And similarly for phase Y and similarly for phase B. So we have to check to which terminal the secondaries are going. For phase R, the first circuit is going to X1, X2. Similarly, this is going to X3, X4, as we know in the next page it is. And for phase Y, the first secondary is going to X5, 6, it's going to 7, 8, then 9, 10, then 11, 12. As we know, this is the VT box. Upset the VT. So we will open this one. Inside you can see this is the terminal blocks. Downside here you can see it is directly coming from VT, and the cables directly coming to this terminal block. This is the first secondary of R phase, the second secondary of R phase, then two secondaries for Y and for B, R, Y, B. And then this one is going to this MCB just to control, and then this going to this one here. The first one is coming the live, and this is one the neutral one, and all neutrals for all secondaries are shorted and grounded, and this one is going to LCC. You can see the terminal number 1, 2 for the first secondary of R, 3, 4 for second secondary of R. Similarly 5, 6, 7, 8 for the two secondaries of Y phase, and 9, 10, 11, 12 are the two secondaries from blue phase. तो हमने अपनी सारी अपने सर्किट डायग्राम को कंफर्म कर लिया है कि जो वायर सेकेंडरी की आ रही हैं जिस टर्मिनल पॉइंट पे एज पर डायग्राम वो राइट हैं. दिस इज़ द डिवाइस विच वी यूज्ड टू टेस्ट द VT. दिस इज़ ओमिक्रॉन डिवाइस CPC100. The company name is Omicron. So here are some quick references we have. This is for CT, this is for VT, this is for transformer, this is for general ohm. So we go on VT. When we press VT, it will come which test we want to do. VT ratio, VT burden, VT withstand, polarity check, and all other. So we will do VT ratio and then enter. So this is the page. It will come like this. आपको यहाँ पर set करने हैं अपने parameters. Like our primary is 132 kV. So I will set 132 kV. Then enter. Similarly, I will set my secondary. It is 115. And the injection voltage. I am doing this one, okay, you can say on 500 volts. The frequency is 60 Hertz. So these two cables coming from the secondary, I will connect once my technician completes its work. I will connect these two cables on secondary, and these two cables in which we inject the voltage, it is going to primary. This red cable is going to the primary R phase, and the second one is connected to the ground, because the secondary of the primary of VT is connected with the ground. So our connections are ready, our setup is ready. So these are the two cables which is going to the primary side. One is going to the bus bar R, Y, V phase, and one by one definitely, and this one is going to the ground, because the primary second the second wire is of primary cable is connected with the ground inside the GIS. So I will connect this one with the ground, and similarly these two, which is coming from the secondary of the VT, it will connected here. So ये हमारी केबल्स हैं, यहाँ ये हमारी जहाँ से हमने वोल्टेज इंजेक्ट कर रहे हैं उसको हमने प्राइमरी साइड पे कनेक्ट किया, और जो सेकेंडरी की केबल हैं उनको हमने यहाँ पे कनेक्ट किया। जैसे ही आप रेशो की सिलेक्शन सेलेक्ट करेंगे ये लाइट्स ऑन हो जाएंगी, ये आपको बताएंगी कि आपने केबल्स कहाँ कहाँ पे कनेक्ट करनी है। So you can see here, in the OR phase, my primary is connected with the earth switch, so that I can access to the bus bar. यहाँ से हमने बस बार को एक्सेस किया है R phase पे कनेक्ट करके। R phase को हम पहले टेस्ट करेंगे। So in the VT box, it is connected here in the terminal number 1 and the 2. As from the diagram we know, the first secondary of the R phase is coming on the terminal 1 and 2. Make sure the bracket is closed. Our complete circuit is ready and should be okay. So this is my test report. My client, which is Saudi national company, electricity company, National Grid. This is my company, ASG. And downside, I put the general data, the bay number of this GIS, the manufacturer of VT, and the serial number of the VT, the winding class, and the burden, and the ratio. Similarly for winding 2. So downside, the first test is the insulation resistance, which I will do later with the Megger device, insulation resistor device for all 3 phases. And for primary to ground, we will inject 5 kV DC for 1 minute, secondary to ground, primary to secondary 2.5 kV for 1 minute, secondary to ground 1 kV for 1 minute, and secondary to secondary 1 kV DC. It is DC for 1 minute. This test I will do later. Right now what I am going to do, right now I will do the winding resistance for primary side on 2 different temperature, 28 and 75. And similarly the same winding resistance test for secondary winding 1, secondary winding 2 for all 3 phases on 2 different temperatures. I will show how to do with this device. Then the main and important test is the ratio test. So as per client requirement, I should inject primary winding 2000 volts. According to that, the expected ratio should be 1.742. The secondary voltage should be as per the ratio. And I will check in the measurement column how much secondary I receive. And I will write here, and I will check the percentage error. तो हम अपने टेस्ट में VT की रेशो टेस्ट करेंगे 2000 वोल्ट्स पे, उसकी वाइंडिंग रेजिस्टेंस चेक करेंगे प्राइमरी साइड की और सेकेंडरी साइड की। सेकेंडरी साइड की चूँकि 2 वाइंडिंग्स हैं, सो वाइंडिंग 1 एंड फॉर वाइंडिंग 2 दोनों के लिए हम इसकी सेकेंडरी की वाइंडिंग रेजिस्टेंस चेक करेंगे, और एंड पर हम इसका करेंगे इंसुलेशन रेजिस्टेंस, जिसके लिए वोल्टेजेस किस सेटिंग पे क्या होंगे वो नीचे इस टेस्ट रिपोर्ट में दिए गए हैं। Here we come on device again. So we can change the voltage level up to 2000 as per client requirement. So our primary is okay. Primary is 132 kV, secondary is 115. Our test voltage is 2000 volts. Frequency is 60 Hz here in Saudi Arabia. So our all data is fine. So we will start the test with this button. When I press this button, as 2000 volts injecting volt is too high, so our device will give a caution, which I accept that all safety cautions are performed. Then I start the test again. So it is a caution. I am aware. So this is the caution. I am aware of 5 safety rules listed in the user manual. I know these rules. All safety has been done. So I will tick this one with enter button and start the test again. So within few seconds our tests are done. So our primary is, you can see here, it inject 1.99 kV. I said 2000, it's injected 1999, which is okay. Our secondary is 1.744. As per our expected calculated ratio, our secondary should be 1.742, and now what is coming? 1.744, and our percentage error is 0.13, which is very nominal, very less, and it is acceptable. So this is our percentage error, 0.13, and this is our measured voltages on secondary. You can cross check it again. See, the ratio is here written. So this is our ratio test is performed. Now we will check the winding resistance for this secondary windings. So for this one, we go to the resistance button. Then we will select the the resistance winding. Enter this one. So here are the pages came. So in this page you will set your temperatures. Like as I told you before, we have to check on two temperatures. One on 28 degree and second on 75 degree. So our temperature should be first on 28 degree and our reference will be on 75, which is already written. As we are going to do the winding resistance, so we have to connect our cables here, which is coming from the secondary of the VT. So cables are connected. So this, when I start this test will not stop automatically, and the resistance will come after 15 to 20 seconds. So after 20 seconds I will stop this one manually and I will check how much resistance we receive. It should be in milliohms, because the secondary winding is very small and it should be in milliohms. So I start the test. You can see it is coming about 156 milliohms, and on 75 degree it's coming 183 milliohms, and here the time is going on, which is right now 13 seconds. Up to 20 seconds I will wait, then I will stop with the same button. So इसको 20 सेकंड के बाद हम बंद कर देंगे, और आप देख रहे हैं कि हमारी जो रेजिस्टेंस वैल्यू है वो स्टेबल हो गई हैं, 154.6, 154.7 milliohms, and downside 182.2. So now I will stop the test with this button again. So I will write this values 154.5 milliohms, and on 75 degree it is 182.1 milliohms. So in this way we will check the winding resistance of our secondary windings. For primary it is very simple, we will check with the multimeter. So the ratio test and the winding resistance has been done. In this similar way we will do for the R phase, Y phase, B phase for all the windings. Thank you so much.